Hey everyone, Lee Pacchia here from Mimesis Law. We're talking about professional development today at New York Law School, and I'm happy to say we're joined now by Professor Mariana Hogan. Welcome, good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Lee.
So you run the professional development program here at New York Law School. Can you walk us through it? What do you guys do?
Well, the basic idea of our professional development program is that it's time for law schools to actually actively help students to figure out what it is they want to do with the legal education that they're here to get. Law schools have traditionally left it to the students to figure out how they want to use their legal education, and that may or may not have worked in the past with the reports of how dissatisfied many lawyers are with their careers. One could argue that it has never really worked, but now with the difficulties in the job market in the last few years, with the increased specialization, the alternatives that are available to lawyers, and the possibilities in non-traditional settings of careers for lawyers, it's even more important to help students to sort through that. So our professional development program is designed to do that, to help students figure out where the best fit for them is. It's also designed to help them. It's one thing to know where you want to work. It's another thing to then get the opportunity to begin your career there. So the other part of our professional development program is to help students to be able to market themselves effectively.
What do you tell a first year that they need to be thinking about from day one when they're in law school? I mean, I got to be honest with you, when I was a 1L, I was pretty terrified and just trying to get through my normal coursework.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say day one, because we actually start our professional development program on day one with a program that we call Day One. And the idea is that we want students from the very first day of law school to begin to self-consciously think about what are the areas of practice that interest me? What are the settings that I may want to work in? The variety is so enormous. They can't wait until they're a 2L or a 3L or a last semester law student to start figuring it out. They need to be self-consciously thinking about what are the areas of practice that interest me. Are there particular settings, whether it's in government agencies at all levels or law firms of various sizes, public interest organizations, businesses? Where is it? What's the setting that's going to work for me? So we actually work with them on day one to introduce them to the range of possibility. It's very exciting. It's a nice way to start law school, to hear about all the possibility that your law degree will open up for you. And then the other piece of it is we start to ask them, okay, one piece of it is understanding what the profession offers you. The other piece is figuring out what you offer the profession. So we start to work with them to help them sort out what their strengths are, what their preferences are, and to be really honest with themselves in assessing what are the strengths that I'm going to bring to a particular practice, and where are my strengths going to fit best.
It doesn't sound like a simple process.
No.
A lot of soul searching.
That's why it takes 3 years.
Yeah, I can imagine. What do most students miss when they walk in the front door?
I think a lot of students feel like they've made this huge decision and they've followed up on it. They decided that they wanted to go to law school and they got themselves into law school, and that's no easy task. So they feel like, okay, now I've made that decision, I've gotten myself here, I can relax a little bit, and I don't have to think about my career any further because I've made the big decision. And what they don't realize is that if they think they can wait for 2 or 3 years to start really focusing in on what they want to do, one, there's not going to be enough time. They may not make the best decision for themselves. And two, they're not going to have amassed the skills and knowledge and experience that they need to be able to effectively market themselves in this job market.
Mariana, while we have you here, I want to talk to you a little bit about the job market. You have a great perspective on the state of play from where you sit here. How are things going? Are things better than last time we spoke? Worse? Is it going sideways? How do you see things?
I don't think it's worse. It may be a little bit better. I'd say Really, it seems to have stabilized, but it's still a tough marketplace. And it's challenging for students entering the marketplace. You have to be really prepared, you have to be ready, and you have to have crafted a portfolio of experiences and knowledge and skills that make you stand out in the marketplace.
This is a tough question coming, but in coming years, where do you see job growth for law students coming from?
We've seen a lot of growth in the compliance area. You know, obviously the securities, banking compliance, healthcare compliance, HR compliance, and I think that will continue to grow. And that's the area that I think is where the most growth is. I think the tech field has a lot to offer potentially also.
That's Mariana Hogan from New York Law School. If you'd like to see more of the stuff they're working on, be sure to go check them out online. I'm Lee Pacchia. See you next time.